We have a little internet thing.
All right.
Yay!
Live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to official episode 2 of We Are the Mags. Still a working title. Haven't decided if I'm going to keep that or not. But we've got great guests with us today. Very excited. We've got the amazing Diana Leto.
Hi.
Jamal Igle.
Woo.
And it's all backwards, but Cole Pierce.
Yay!
How's everybody doing?
Good. Good.
Awesome. Sorry if we're a little late. That was literally my bank calling about the PPP loan. So let me take this. Oh, loans. But we're not here to talk about loans or any of that. We're here to talk about comics.
Yes.
And all the comics that we're excited about, the comics that we love, that we've already read, that maybe people haven't read yet, get some recommendations, and just comic book stuff, how everybody's doing, what you guys are working on, what you're reading, stuff like that. So let's start with Mr. Igle.
Yes, sir.
Tell us, you want to tell our 3 fans right now that are watching, hopefully we'll get more, but you know what you've worked on and what you're kind of got coming up.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. What have I worked on? I've worked on a lot of stuff over the years. I used to be exclusive at DC for a very long time, so I did a lot of Superman. I was on Supergirl for a couple of years. I did Firestorm and Nightwing, and just a bunch of different things. Excuse me. That's spit. Don't worry. I'm okay. I'm okay. Let's see. I am, amongst other things, the creator of Molly Danger, which was published by Action Lab Entertainment. I'm also the co-creator of The Wrong Earth, published by Ahoy Comics with Tom Pyre, and the artist on Black from Black Mass Studios, which is I'm actually finishing up the sequel. The pencils, the sequel to Black, which is called White, which should be coming out sometime later this year at this point. So I'm literally working on the last chapter of that right now. So there's 120 pages of Afrocentric goodness.
Awesome. Well, Black was amazing, so I'm very excited to see what's in store with White.
Yeah,
sure.
we definitely turned up the notch. We went up a few notches on White. I definitely just sort of stuck my foot in it, as they say. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. This last chapter is just like, every manga fantasy that I've ever had, all rolled into like a single issue. So just like a massive fight scene with a lot of speed lines and stuff breaking.
Nice. Very cool. And what about you, Miss Leto? Tell everybody what you've worked on?
So I've worked on My Little Pony comics, such as this one, and a few others. I've also worked at Sesame Street, and I've done some independent comics as well, like this one I'm very proud of. Mine is help support Planned Parenthood rights. And this is published by Comics Mix, and it's fantastic. And I'm also working on their sequel, which is going to be an environmental comic that I think is either out later this year or early next year.
Also to be determined. All publishing dates across the board are TBD, unfortunately, right now.
I also got some toys I work on. So when I'm not doing comic book work, I also work on toys like for the Electric Company.
Oh, the Electric Company was so good.
Toys for Hasbro.
Nice.
Very cool.
Here in the mirror, sorry guys. This one's fun because it's sort of interactive, and it opens up like this.
Oh, very cool.
All the little toys were inside, so you had to design.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Thanks.
that's great.
Is there like a stand that holds like the whole thing up, or?
So the package would come like this,
Mm-hmm.
and then you would pull her hair out like this because it was for trolls.
Ah, okay.
There would be little mystery packages that the kid could pick out. And
Okay, that's cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, see, that's totally the kind of thing that I was into when I was a kid. Like, I love, like, my big thing, for a very long time was like Presto Magic, and that's sort of like the rub-on like decal stuff, and like the street patches, and stuff like that. And then I got this weird GI Joe addiction, and I don't really want to talk about it, but it's painfully expensive.
I had a She-Ra addiction, so we're on the same path.
Oh yeah, no, then you completely know what I'm talking about there, Diane.
But I remember when I was younger and I first started reading X-Men comics, I was both loving everything from the publishing side and also all the sculpts that would be there. Both would be fascinating.
Oh yeah, that.
Why I enjoyed both.
Oh, nice. The action figures for the X-Men in the early '90s were.
Oh, yeah, so good.
Beautiful.
I wish I hadn't opened them and played with them, because then I would probably have some really amazing collectibles. But they did inspire me to have the career I did.
Yeah, in hindsight, I really regret tearing all those packages open the second I got in my house. But
no, you want regret. Here's regret. So, my 12th birthday, my mother says you can pick one thing, and on the shelf was Optimus Prime and Thundercracker, and I got Thundercracker because Thundercracker is a jet, not knowing what the Transformers were at the time.
Oh wow!
So there's my eternal regret. Like, the cartoon hadn't come on the air yet. They just started putting the toys out.
Oh no!
Yeah, I think
I'm like, that's a truck. Who wants a truck?
I think between me and my brother, our thing was the Ninja Turtle action figures. Man, we had hundreds of those things. Every ridiculous one you could get, we could get. Somebody's wearing a different coat, we got to get that one. Like, we had everything.
I was gonna say I must have had like 15 different Raphaels. Just like Raphael with sunglasses, Raphael in a Hawaiian shirt with sunglasses, Raphael in a Hawaiian shirt, sunglasses. And
you were the one that made Eastman and Laird millionaires.
I definitely contributed. I don't know if I spent that much money, but yeah, I definitely contributed.
Believe me, Hasbro got a lot of money out of me over the years. They got a lot. Between Transformers and GI Joe, they got a lot of money. Yeah. I think I went through like 4 Zartans.
Wow.
Well, because the problem was you would always lose the goddamn face mask.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That would always be the first thing. So if I lose the mask, I got to get another one, because where am I going to get another face mask from? So there's another $432 out of my pocket for a brand new Zartan figure. Actually, no, but it was more expensive. I think it was like $6 or $7 because he came with the swamp skins.
Oh yeah. Well, they recently started doing the 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figures, the style, but they're way more mobile. Like, they have elbows now. The arms will bend at the elbow. And so my little guy saw the Darth Vader one and got real excited and he wanted it. So we picked it up, brought it home, opened it up, and just the top of his helmet comes off, so you can see the underneath, which is great. Within an hour, that top of Darth Vader's helmet is
of course.
You're such a I am. Because when I get toys, I will say to Finn, "These are mommy's toys. These are Finn's toys. Don't touch mommy's toys so much."
Yeah, I played it a little different. I don't think my little guy knows we have a basement in our house. Like, I don't think he knows the room exists. He sees the stairs and he just never asks questions about it. So
you'll figure it out.
He's not supposed to play with down there. And I'm not gonna lie to him. If he asks me what it is, I'll tell him it's it's the basement. It's a whole nother room. But
Right.
until he brings it up, I'm
That's fine.
not mentioning it. No, I got guitars down there, all kinds of stuff. I want to give a quick shout out. There's a whole mess of comments here from guys like Josh Pierce, Mike Fiala, who mentioned Jamal. He's got some of your sketches, and Diana. He's got some of your sketches as well. Vanessa took a shot at Cole somewhere in here. She said nothing's changed. So you've still got a lot of toys apparently.
Yeah, I mean this entire room that I'm sitting in, they're still freaking me out for money. Every time.
There's a pretty serious pop collection that I know.
Yeah, I like your background.
Just
Thank you.
Yeah, it works. You can't really see like because I've got like a mix. I've got some Hot Toys figures, like a Supergirl, a Barbie Supergirl that I actually had to like rescue from my daughter when she was younger. I purposely bought two so that she could have one and I could keep one in the box. And she destroyed hers because after a while she had what I refer to as the naked Barbie apocalypse in her bedroom. Well, she's 12 now, so she's not really so much. She like finally gave up the Barbies and the My Little Pony figures, but yeah, she might revisit it at some point. But I've got like some old Superpowers figures and some like Hot Toys stuff, and, a couple of figures I picked up in Japan. So, yeah, I don't have the room. I have some stuff in storage, like I've got some maquettes and stuff in storage, but I don't have the room for anything.
Adult life does that to you. Like all of a sudden, there's not enough space to display all these things, and you find yourself picking and choosing and going,
yeah,
"Oh, this is not acceptable." Like,
no.
I feel like I just need a whole nother room for this. But
the big thing, as you can imagine, is books. That's like the big thing that takes up space in our apartment. Because I'm a reader, my wife's a reader, and my daughter's a reader, and everybody reads novels, everybody reads comics. My wife has a huge bande dessinée collection that she bought back for her when she moved here from France, and we still, whenever we've gone back to visit family, we always hit Album or one of the other album shops, and we come back with like an extra suitcase of French graphic albums. So that's all like the
so much heavier on the way back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But we know it's like as soon as we go downtown, we know exactly what we're doing. So
well, speaking of comics and buying stuff, I know probably by you guys, a lot of the comic book stores are either closed or doing what we're doing, which is curbside pickup and shipping. But have you been reading anything lately that you're really into?
My LCS is closed. They just, it's not to get too much into it, but we all know why. But I have really gotten into Hulk lately, Al Ewing's Hulk series. Oh my God, it's so good. Like, I'm not a big body horror guy, and the stuff that Joe Bennett is doing visually on that book is just creepy, but so good. It's such a good story.
I've been a Hulk fan my whole life. I love the idea of the Hulk. I love the concept behind it, and that's my character. I tell people I'm more of a DC guy, but if I have to pick a character, it's always Hulk. And I will admit that before Al Ewing, like Totally Awesome Hulk was all right, and Hulk stuff was decent. It wasn't great, but it was readable and it was cool and it was fine. But Al Ewing stuff, man, like
it's real
mind blowing. The whole schizophrenia thing, how all the different Hulks throughout time are like personalities in Banner's head.
Yeah.
I never even thought of that. Like, and I've been reading Hulk for 25 years, roughly. Like, holy crow, that stuff, it's just, oh my God. And yeah, the art's gorgeous. I mean, Alex Ross covers on every issue.
Oh,
That's just a bonus.
I almost feel like it's a sleeper in a lot of people's eyes. I don't think it's getting anywhere near the love that it should be getting as a series.
As a retailer, people ask me what I'm reading, and that's almost always the first thing that comes out of my mouth. And people go, "Really?" I'm like, "It's Jekyll and Hyde. He's schizophrenic with all the different Hulk.
There's a little Cronenberg in there too.
Cronenberg. There's horror. There's and then there's fun superhero type action stuff where he's punching the rocks, like whatever agents rocks on, and Dario Agger is like throwing at these guys, the giant sword. I can't wait till he fights Dario Agger as the Minotaur. Like it's gonna be some serious shit going on. I'm psyched. Diana, what about you? You reading anything stand out right now?
Nothing new, but my friend Lance, even though I own 1,000 renditions of everything as I drop everything, got me this Swamp Thing omnibus. So I've been rereading the entire Swamp Thing because I'm a big Tolkien fan. Always inspiring to see the artwork, of course. He has the remastered version. So he gave me his old omnibus to read through, which I greatly appreciate. But his version is really beautiful. It just came out, I think, the remastered Swamp Thing omnibus, right?
Yeah, I think it came out right before Diamond stopped shipping. So
it's incredible. The color is, I forget who worked on the color, but it's so bright, and you can really see a lot of things that you couldn't see in the first few published issues. And I can always go back to Swamp Thing. It's one of the first comics that really made me start drawing. I love that woodcut look that is through the entire book. And if I read a few pages of it, I'm drawing by the end of the evening. That's my writer's block note.
And what about you, Cole? Cole here was a regular customer of ours when he lived in town, and then moved to Florida. But has still amazingly found ways to support us, especially nowadays, and has become like a really good friend of the shop. So it's great having him here. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. I'm right now. The biggest thing, honestly, I did right after I moved up until now, I'm still catching up, is I have so many bags of comics that I bought from you before I moved that I would just lose track because I had my pull list and I would have so much stuff, and it was crazy with moving that I had so much stuff saved up that I just never got around to reading that. Now I kind of unpacked everything, got everything organized together so I can start working my way through runs. So I worked my way. I think I'm all caught up on Spider-Man and Batman now. Amazing Spider-Man, the main Batman book. And then more recently, I actually also just read my way through all of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the IDW run that's going on right now. Because I've always been a Turtles fan. As a kid, it was cartoons, it was movies, and I had no idea the depth that some of this stuff is. Reading going into the IDW run and just reading it beginning up until now was just kind of mind blowing to me to see something that held such value for me as a kid in a very goofy kid sense. Now the book is really geared more, it has a much older tone, a much more serious tone that I've been working my way through that. And then I also have an omnibus back there somewhere that's
You've also got a doorstop.
This one especially because it's the Jack Kirby Fourth World. The whole thing.
Oh yeah, I have those.
The book is ginormous because it's everything in the one book that I really need to use this time to get through. Because I loved New Gods, but then I just I need more, and I got this. I'm all right. I think I picked it up. This won't take me that long. I'm this thing is ridiculous. So that's on my list for sure during all of this time.
Took a week and a half just to drag it back to your house.
Seriously.
Gonna stash it in the bush.
I wanted to mention one more thing that I've been really, really digging, and it's Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch, The Batman's Grave.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's absolutely fantastic.
I don't think a lot of people are. I mean, I was selling a decent amount of copies in the beginning, and it just didn't seem like a lot of people knew that it was out or what it was about, and so we kind of kicked it up on that. But we've got a couple of questions here. Let's see. Mike Fiala for Diana was asking who did the artwork for Swamp Thing.
Oh, it's this one's John Colton. Which am I getting that right, guys? On the spot? Yeah, which is beautiful. And it's like I was saying, it's kind of got this woodcut style that I really am drawn to. I'm trying to see if I can find a piece where you can kind of see it. Here, this one's not there with the back. I don't know if you can see it, but
Yeah.
It's just fantastic, and I like the dreamlike quality because so much of it is sort of trippy and 70s, and I think I'm not sure if anyone's seen my Swamp Thing, but the Swamp Thing that I drew is definitely inspired by that. And a lot of my inking process, I always go back to looking at his work.
Nice.
Did I say his name right?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not very good with that pronunciation in general, and I do embarrassingly Google people's last names sometimes, just because I'm like, come on, Google Translate, help me figure out. I don't want to screw this up.
Right.
And I screwed up.
Until the X-Men movies came out, I realized I was pronouncing some of the names wrong.
I agree. That's one of the great things about having so much comic book stuff in TV and movies is, they're deciding on how to pronounce certain things, and then you hear it on screen and you go, huh.
Listen, I still occasionally have fights with people on whether it's pronounced Raz or Ra's al Ghul. So I say Ra's al Ghul. So
you're Team Raish?
I am Team Raish. That is how I heard Denny O'Neil pronounce it. So Ra's al Ghul, not Raz al Ghul.
I will admit that I heard someone I used to call him Raz al Ghul until someone said, oh no, it's pronounced Raish, and I decided that it just sounded cooler.
Because he's Raz al Ghul on Batman the Animated Series.
That's where I got it from.
That's where I got it from too, yeah.
And I would call him Raz, but then someone said, no, it's actually Raish. They got it wrong. And I just went, that definitely sounds more badass than Raz. No offense to anybody whose name is Raz. Perfectly fine name. But if you really want to be a badass, you'll change it to Raish. But cool. There was also a question in here somewhere, kind of jumping topics, but what did everybody think of the Birds of Prey movie?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
I just watched Bloodshot, so I've got to build up my drone for another comic book movie.
We're gonna come back to that because now that you said that you saw Bloodshot, I definitely watched Bloodshot as well, and let's see what Diana and Cole about Birds of Prey. But I'd like to get back to that.
I thought the characters were pretty well developed, and I thought the fight scenes were fantastic. And I think Margot Robbie makes a great Harley. But I think the title was wrong because it was Birds of Prey. You don't really see Birds of Prey till the last 10 minutes or so of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. Same thing. The action sequences were great. It was a lot of fun. It was just a fun movie, from beginning to end. I agree actually about the name too. It's funny because I know some theaters actually started billing it differently after opening weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I went to see it once by myself just because I was free and Vanessa wasn't. So I said, I'm not waiting for you. And it's funny because I had my ticket from that, and it was the full-on Birds of Prey and the fabulous emancipation of Harley Quinn. And then we went to see it again the next week, and I went on my app to buy the tickets, and it wasn't named that anymore. They had changed it to be. I think they changed it to Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. I think they changed it after.
It was sort of a Edge of Tomorrow, live, die, repeat sort of situation where somebody in the marketing department said, "Oh wait, that's a better title."
Yeah, and I guess they didn't want to go and rebrand all that merchandise and stuff. So they probably
I liked it. I thought she was great as Harley. I thought Black Mask was great too. I just thought it was an interesting villain that you haven't seen live action yet. That is kind of, if you're not, for some people that are just more casual with Batman and the whole Bat family may not know him as well. So it's not it's not like as crazy as, oh, we got the Joker again, everyone knows who it is. I thought it was a really good villain to incorporate.
I was actually really glad that they didn't put him in there at all.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good move on their part. Yeah, I mean, I liked it for the most part. The trailers made me nervous because they kind of resembled Suicide Squad. So I was like, oh, we're going to do this again? But it actually was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Would have liked to have seen a little bit more superpower type stuff, I guess. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, Jamal.
Okay.
You read online, but yeah, no, but I think overall it was cool. Diana or Cole? Did you guys see Bloodshot also, or?
I did. It was actually one of the last things I saw before the theaters shut down.
Oh,
I got to see it in the theater, so I know it's out on digital now, but I got to see it before our theater closed here.
Diana, did you see Bloodshot?
No, sorry.
Are you interested in seeing Bloodshot, or is that just not?
I mean, maybe. I guess not too interested. Sorry.
No,
don't be sorry.
Yeah,
I wasn't rushing out the theaters. Cole's hardcore, man. Cole is ride or die. Like, if it's out there, he's going to see it. I was not planning on going to theaters to see Bloodshot. I was going to patiently wait for it to be free on some streaming service.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting.
That's one way to put it.
One way to put it.
It was kind of Fast and Furious, but Vin Diesel has nanites under his skin.
Yeah. It starts out very by the numbers, and then it's interesting because I only have a cursory knowledge of Bloodshot as a character, so it just sort of felt like he never really became what he was supposed to be. So, and I sort of feel that was more either Vin's people or the studio being nervous that if we put him under a ton of makeup and prosthetics, then you wouldn't get Vin Diesel, being Vin Diesel. So it's kind of hard to not see Dom Toretto running around.
Or Xander Cage.
Yeah, I know.
It was like Fast and Furious meets Triple X with nanites.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I felt like it was Bloodshot only in name, just because that's what it was named. That's what they called the movie. But it really felt more like it could have been any other Vin Diesel movie. And don't get me wrong, I love a good, completely first Triple X. I will watch over and over again just because it's ridiculous. But that's not what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for just ridiculous Vin Diesel action. I've read not a whole lot of Bloodshot. I think I've read maybe the first trade, the Colorado storyline. I had enough of an understanding to be scratching my head saying, well, this isn't the same thing. And just kind of didn't feel satisfied that I was actually seeing that character, which for me was a little bit of a bummer because I know they were hoping that this would be the jumping off point of the Valiant movie universe. And I don't know, I'm not the person that makes the decision if they continue moving forward with it, but it was kind of a bummer because I'm I know a little bit more about some of the other characters that I would love to see on screen that I'm just hoping this doesn't work against that because it to me it was a miss for their first like I don't know, but it's also hard when you have so many bigger movies out there. Like you're always comparing, and I think sometimes movies get like harsher. You look at them a little bit harsher because there's so much that is so good that it's like we can't compare Bloodshot to The Dark Knight. Like they're not even like
no, but I don't even think it's so much that, man. I had no expectations when it came to Bloodshot, so I went in completely open-minded. I wasn't trying to compare it to anything else. And as a movie, it's fine.
Yeah.
But to your point, Cole, when it comes to this being the jumping off point to a potential Valiant universe sort of storyline, you're trying to figure out how Bloodshot fits into the same potential world as Exo Manowar.
Right.
How do you turn around and do, like, how do you sell Exo Manowar as a pitch in a post Iron Man movie landscape?
Oh yeah, that's a good point too.
So that makes it harder for them as well.
I agree.
Even better, like Archer and Armstrong and Eternal Warrior. Like, how do you sell those characters and have them exist in this movie's version of Bloodshot? It doesn't line up. So
I didn't even take it that far. After I just went, okay, action movie.
Well, this is the weird stuff that my brain does afterwards. Like the marketing guy in me starts overthinking this stuff.
Well, but that's a good point because you do have so many other characters that do, like Exo Manowar does kind of. He feels very Iron Man-ish, and then you have characters like Archer and Armstrong, and
But I think Archer and Armstrong works a little bit easier because you can play up that buddy cop aspect of Archer and Armstrong.
Right.
Yeah.
If you kept them separate and not connected it to, like, okay, Bloodshot's not part of whatever potential, Valiant universe comes out of this, if anything comes out of this at this point, because I don't even know we're in such a weird state with everything right now. Lord knows if they're going to recoup their money on this at all, even with digital sales being what they are. I mean, there's an uptick, but then you have a lot of media companies who are starting to release stuff on their platforms essentially for free. Like Hulu just released Parasite. I can't wait to see that.
Oh, good. I want to see that.
So, that's on. My problem is that I have like a queue of stuff that I want to watch, and my wife is shotgunning Lucifer right now. So, so I have to wait. And then I've gotten into, like, one of the things that I've gotten into watching lately is like Chinese kung fu dramas on Netflix, like these long running, like I was watching Hanson Siblings, and then there's this other one, I forget the title of it, but it's about this, it's martial arts and it's comedy, and there's everybody's got superpowers, and there's the trickster hero, and
Well, Chris Sotomayor, if I'm pronouncing that right, Chris, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that right, just commented, maybe you just don't build a universe, do individual movies. And
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that personally, but that's the thinking of most studios right now is how do we build an ongoing franchise?
Right.
Yeah. I agree. I think there's a lot of effort going into trying to build universes a la Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And,
but Universal tried to do that with the Universal monsters, and with the what was that movie that Tom Cruise, The Mummy, the reboot of The Mummy? Yeah, I couldn't bring myself to do it. There's only so much Tom Cruise I can handle.
Cool. Well, actually, that spins me into another topic that I wanted to bring up, which is what are you guys watching right now that you're super into. Tiger King, we can all do. I think social media has given us all the Tiger King stuff that we will ever need in a lifetime. So let's just all assume that everybody's watched or currently watching Tiger King.
Right.
And let's start with Diana this time. What are you doing to kind of ease?
I recently started rewatching Watchmen with my friend Lance again. That I was just talking about. He's awesome.
The show or the movie?
And what? The show.
Okay, cool.
Did everybody see that on HBO?
I've seen bits of it. I haven't seen the whole thing.
It's in my opinion, the most incredible adaptation of Watchmen ever created.
Yeah, I've heard of what I've seen. I've liked. We don't have HBO, so that makes it a little bit harder. So I have to find other ways to see clips of Watchmen.
It's free now, I think.
HBO's about that too. Yep.
Yeah.
Other ways.
I'll have to check that out. But what else are you watching, Diana?
And probably Better Call Saul repeatedly, just looking at all the in-depth stuff that's in that. Mm-hmm. I love Breaking Bad, and Bob Odenkirk is brilliant and everything.
I actually just got caught up on Better Call Saul myself. I kind of got into it a lot later. I love Breaking Bad too.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really sure when they first launched Better Call Saul if it was a good idea, which I think a lot of people were kind of nervous about, but it's amazing. It's right up there in terms of quality. I love finding the little pieces and the little connections. Like some are more obvious, like when you've got Gus Fring, obviously, but like when you can see little things and like, oh, that's gonna be a thing later. Like I think that's really
and I think really such a great job of, I think it's hard to do a prequel when you know who's gonna die. It's such a fantastic job of introducing new characters that you actually start caring about, and then you don't want them to die, and you don't know if they're going to die, so it increases the anticipation instead of you just knowing what's going to happen to Gus because you've seen Breaking Bad.
Right. Oh, no, for sure. And I think Bob Odenkirk is amazing. I also love Mike. I loved Mike on Breaking Bad.
I want the Mike show next.
And that was like, for me, that was one of the biggest gut punches for me in Breaking Bad was when Mike got it. I'm like, and like it's awesome because I'm like I love that character so much, and it's like now he's back. You get him back, and like he's the same guy through and through, and it's just awesome.
His delivery is great. Every time he has a really good one, I'm just like, yeah, Mike, good job.
Yeah,
tell him like it is.
I've seen the first season of Better Call Saul. I'm really behind, so it's a constant fight for the big TV in my house. Between the kid who monopolizes it in the morning and the wife who monopolizes it at night. So
well, I'm totally clueless because I missed Breaking Bad and I haven't seen Better Call Saul. So I'm
a huge fan of Breaking Bad, and I really enjoyed the first season of Better Call Saul, and just kind of, for some reason, I don't know why I fell off the wagon for a while, but at a certain point, now that it's all up on Netflix, I'm gonna dive back into it.
I'm gonna have to take some of this time to plow through Breaking Bad, I guess.
I think you'd really enjoy it, actually.
Make sure you set time aside because I thought I was gonna watch one episode, and then I watched 3 seasons and like.
Yeah, you will get hooked quick.
Yeah.
Like you can't. You want the next episode so much.
Well, I guess the bonus for me is I don't have to wait like a week or for the next episode to come out. I can just.
That's true.
Yeah.
Plow right through and get it done. So
yeah.
And I also I just binged and got caught up on. I had never seen Westworld before, and I just watched all like 2 days, and it was kind of the same thing as we just said about Breaking Bad. Like where I went into it as like I've heard a lot about this. Maybe I'll check out the first episode.
Right.
And then like I watched, I'm like, well, this is all I'm doing today. Like until I get caught up, like, this is it. Like so like I probably spent like last weekend just like watching like season 1 up to season 2, and like I'm now like caught up so that as new episodes come out, But now I feel the withdrawal because I'm like, wow, now I don't have another one to watch because I think like the double-edged sword of binging is once you're caught up, like now I have to wait a week. What is this?
Yeah. Well, I saw the first season of Westworld. I didn't get a chance to catch up with the second season, so I've got some catching up to do there. But the first season of Westworld was amazing.
Yeah, so good.
To vouch for that. What else? You watching anything else that stands out, man? Or
Let's see. Caught up on Picard, which I really enjoyed. But I honestly I've been really enjoying. I know this is divisive with a lot of people. I love Discovery. I love Star Trek Discovery. I thought it was really, really well done. Same thing with Picard. I know it rankles a lot of the hardcores, but I like when a franchise like this takes chances with the material. Okay. So that's been really good. So we caught up on that. Kind of half watching the Lucifer because I've already seen the entire series, but my wife had never seen it. So. Okay. And Corinne, what was the series that you were watching before you started watching Lucifer? Corinne?
Hey, I'm thinking, hold on.
She'll tell me in a second. But usually I just kind of peer over her shoulder as she's watching stuff because she's finds something that she has to binge, and she'll just she's a binger. So she'll find something that she has to binge, and she'll just plows straight through for weeks at a time. So. I peek over her shoulder.
My wife's the same way. She's been bugging me for weeks. What are we gonna watch next? I can't remember off the top of my head what we were watching before Tiger King. Cause she got on the Tiger King bandwagon, so I just rolled with it. But it's gonna drive me nuts.
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my list, but
All you have to know about Tiger King is everybody in it is a grifter, and they're all trying to out-grift each other.
Yeah,
that's basically what it comes down to.
It is a show with no heroes. Everybody on that show is a terrible human being
and out of their mind.
Yeah,
completely out of their mind.
There's no good bone in that whole show, but it's nuts. Oh man, I'm really upset that I can't think of what we were watching before that. But okay. Anyway, I started watching Altered Carbon on Netflix.
Good show. Absolutely.
I was a little apprehensive because now anytime I see the name Joel Kinnaman, all I think about is Suicide Squad. Going back.
He didn't even. The only problem that I have with Joel Kinnaman and Suicide Squad is I think he should have been Deadshot, and Will Smith should have been the Flag. It just fits their personalities better.
I never heard that before, and I kind of like that idea.
I think they were cast in the wrong parts, so that's just me. My problem with Joel Kinnaman is RoboCop.
I was about to say, I saw.
That's right. I was
so bad.
Oh yeah, that was tough. That was. Although I will say that I liked the design of RoboCop in his movie, but
it's not a good movie, but it's got some worthwhile parts about it. I mean, Michael Keaton's really good at it, so
yes, I liked him. But I didn't like when they took all the robot parts out and he was just a pair of lungs and a stomach and a hand, and you're like, well, that's it? That's not fun. But yeah, Michael Keaton was great. But yeah, Altered Carbon, I've been watching that. And I'm burning a lot of hours rewatching Daredevil on Netflix.
Really?
I don't know why. I'm just like, well, if we're never gonna get a new Daredevil episode, then
I haven't revisited that show in a while. So.
It's so good. It's probably not a good idea for me to be watching it here in the shop when I should be focused on stuff like that. But I do find myself every once in a while, like the fight scene where Punisher's in the
prison fight,
fighting his way. Like, and I'm just sitting there like. Watching it, and then I go, I haven't done anything. I got to get back to work. So,
Of those Marvel series on Netflix, I think Daredevil was the best one. What do you guys think?
I think so.
Okay.
I would agree.
But and I like the first season of Jessica Jones. I wasn't
The
really
first
big.
season was the best.
Iron Fist. I really wanted to like Iron Fist. I was very disappointed.
I do. I make a lot of excuses for that Iron Fist series.
I tried. I gave up.
It's so much better than it really was.
Yeah, Iron Fist was tough. 'Cause, like, I remember when they were getting ready for the Defenders to come out. I was like, I'm gonna rewatch all the stuff, so I'm caught up. And like, I got like 2 episodes, and I said, once was enough. Like, I couldn't sit through the first season a second time. Like, the second season started to bring it back, but I'm like, it just wasn't there for Iron.
No,
Like,
it all comes. Sometimes it all comes down to the showrunner. And Scott Buck, who was a showrunner on Iron Fist, was also the showrunner on the Inhuman series on ABC.
We don't want to talk about that. So,
Yeah, this is Scott Buck is good with a lot of things, but speculative material like this, like superhero stuff, not his wheelhouse. Like he was really good when he was a showrunner on Dexter. Like he did a really good job on Dexter. It just didn't like not everybody can do everything. It just didn't translate. So
agreed. So we got about 15 minutes left or so, I figured. So we have a question in the comments. Do any of you collect original art? And if so, do you have like a holy grail piece?
Which one's the Holy Grail?
I don't know.
I don't collect a lot of original art. I want to collect some more, but finances and everything. I've got a cover from Pat Gleason from his Noble Causes run way back in the day before he really blew up that I really like. I've got a Nightwing sketch from Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Very cool. A pencil sketch that he did. I've got a Jonah Hex sketch that Tony Zuniga did for me and before he passed away. So, and then David Peterson did, or not, he did. It wasn't an original sketch, but it was a drawing Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz that he dedicated to my daughter. So
That's cool.
Yeah,
You got some good stuff going on.
yeah.
What about you, Diana?
It's so hard to choose. Collect so many pieces. Maybe just because of the memory is I have 2 really beautiful sketches from Walter Simonson. Those are treasured, and one of them is Frog of Thunder. So I'm excited. That one always brings joy to me, and we had such a wonderful conversation.
That's cool. Cole, you got
as far as sorry, Cole. I didn't mean.
No, I don't have a lot really of original art. I'll grab some stuff here and there at cons. Nothing too crazy. Mostly for finances. But the one thing I think that one piece that is kind of a fail that I do have that I got an autograph from Kevin Conroy, who is
that's fun.
often the best Batman in a lot of debates. I don't open that can of worms up, but it was funny because we went and we got it at a small con in New Jersey, and I had him sign it. Long story. I know you guys saw my Twitter name. My Twitter name is, or not my Instagram is Uncle Fleshbeard. It's a weird nickname that my brother gave me. And I had him sign it to that, and just actually having the conversation with that man and saying, like, can you sign this? And what's your name? And having him sign it to Uncle Fleshbeard. And he definitely gave me a look. And I said, but I bet you he will remember me at least for a little bit, because no one has ever said something so ridiculous to someone to have them sign it. So that's kind of something that it's proudly in my my collection, less about the actual thing, more about the interaction, having to explain to Kevin Conroy that I would like you to call me Uncle Fleshbeard. So
I do have, as far as like sentimental pieces, I do have one sentimental piece that I will never ever let go of. One of my favorite artists is Jerry Ordway, and grew up on Infinity Incorporated and Superman, and just a huge fan of his work. I've told him this many, many times. Jerry inked me on an issue of Green Lantern Corps. And I have the splash page, the splash page from that issue.
Oh, that's cool.
So Jerry Ordway inking me.
Wow.
So I will never let that go, ever.
Oh, no way. That's awesome. My prize piece, I think, is when my first son was born, because the second one's, well, he's not here yet, but a friend of mine gave me a Herb Trimpe sketch of Hulk.
Wow.
And that's hanging up in my son's room. Not enough that he can't reach it, which is good. But every once in a while, I look at him and I go, "Do you know what that is?" And he just goes, "That's Hulk, Daddy." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's also Herb Trimpe." But yeah, so I would have to say that's one of my prize pieces. And then, of course, both of you have been to the shop and have sketched some cool stuff for me, which is on display in my house. So thanks for that as well. And maybe I can get Cole to doodle something for me and mail it to me.
I think I can arrange that.
Awesome. So yeah, I think anything you guys, Diana or Jamal, anything? I know we talked about stuff that you're working on. And, release dates are kind of in flux right now. They're not really a thing, but is there anything coming up eventually that you know is definitely going to get released that you want to take a moment to pitch? Or
At least digitally, I know I contributed a couple of pages to Teen Titans Go to Camp.
Okay.
So, and I think
Cool.
the print version of that is coming out in June. So that is my first DC work in like about 4 years. Somewhere in that area, which
That's
was
cool.
it was sort of like they asked me if I wanted to do it, and I was like, yeah, I can squeeze it in, So
Nice. What about you, Diana? Anything?
As I was mentioning, the environmental comic that's coming out from Comics Mix. The writer is Barbara Kessel, who is wonderful, and we have I think 4 or 6 page story that's going to be coming out in it. I believe it's going to be called, although it's a working title, Crisis on the Only Earth We Have, something along those lines. It should be out by the end of the year, but as you were saying, timelines are kind of difficult.
Yeah.
Cole, what about you? Anything that you've heard about coming out? You're just like chomping at it, can't wait to get your hands on it.
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just waiting for everything to start coming back out. I get excited. I get pumped.
That means anything that's new. Just give them
anything that's new, anything that that I just started on. Just waiting to see how some of these stories end, because I was like super excited. Like, I was getting caught up on everything. Now that I'm caught up, now I'm like, well, I can read them, but they're not coming out right now. So I'll just be excited once books are coming out again.
Books are coming out again, right?
I've been joking with a lot of Pullbox customers. I was like, this is your time to get caught up on all that stuff that we've been putting aside. When we come out the other end of this, there's going to be no excuse to, I didn't really get to read Batman 90 or 91. Like, what was it? No. Now's the time. Like, pull out that pile, pull those bags open, and let's start reading.
Absolutely.
For me, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff coming that I'm excited about. I don't know if I can name just one, but at least in my position, I'm just excited to be when I get new stuff in at all. I'm just excited for that to happen and start getting the community back together. So, On that note, I'm going to do a shameless plug and say that we're still open for curbside pickup and shipping. If you haven't already read the stuff at the bottom of the screen, which I ever so casually added since our first episode last week, we are still open for curbside pickup and shipping. You can contact us in any way you see fit. I'll put the order together for you, and we'll arrange to get it to you.
May I also say that Jeff has helped me immensely in finding comics for my son. And that is a huge help for me because, I mean, sometimes what you're reading isn't something that you can share with your family. So I would definitely reach out to Jeff if you're watching for recommendations for your children or even your husband or wife who maybe you're trying to get into comics more.
Yes. The more people, the merrier, for sure.
I'm certainly happy I introduced him to Watchmen.
What is that?
My husband's certainly happy that I introduced him to Watchmen.
Oh, the show's so good.
Oh, like, this is dense.
It is.
Yeah.
Older comic fans still get mad at me when I tell them I still haven't read the pirate story in the Watchmen comics.
Right.
I mean, you skip it the first time, right?
Yeah. As a kid, I was like, "What's this?" I don't care about this. And then out of stubbornness, because I like watching the old heads just get so angry about my go-to is always, well, I never read the Pirates, the Black Freighter story in the Watchmen. Like, you've never read, and I'm like, nope, never read it. It's upset. It's fine.
It's forgivable. I mean, there's lines in V for Vendetta. You're going, I know I just read that line, but I need to read it again to fully understand it.
Yeah. But, well, I want to thank all of you guys for joining me today in this crazy, hectic period. Thank you for taking time out to video chat virtually. Hope we brought some smiles to people's faces. We got a whole bunch of comments. Vanessa says she wants all the Funkos.
I know.
I don't remember talking about Funkos. I think that's just the Cole's girlfriend Vanessa is a massive Funko collector.
Okay.
Massive, yeah. So I don't know if there's any Funkos that we have up in Jersey that she needs. Got it. You're covered. But thank you again for taking time out of your day. We're very excited to get back to a little bit of normal and get some new comics in. So we'll be looking for the Comics Mix anthology. We'll be looking forward to White. And we'll be looking forward to seeing Cole and people like Cole and comic fans coming in and buying up all the new stuff once Diamond decides to start shipping again. So, thanks, guys.
Have
a great night. Support your artists. And this is Jeff saying, I don't even know if that was the right hand. But signing off. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night.